Hey guys, what's going on? It's Powerhouse TGF here, and there is no way King is the last Lunarian. So my theory is he is basically the Mandalorian of One Piece. Okay, but hear me out though, because you might be afraid, you might be confused, you might even be a little bit aggravated right now or disgusted. In my last video, I said a little something like this. So I think King's race maybe had the ability to travel between moons. So that's probably why they called them the Lunarians. And to be honest with you, I just gotta tell you, ever since the reveal of the name of his race, the Lunarians, my mind has been going crazy because we've always been thinking about theories about the moon, about going to the moon and find a One Piece. I've heard that out there. There's a lot of wild shit out there. And that's one of the best things about being in the One Piece community is all the wild theories that you get thrown your way. And this is my wild theory, so just hear me out. In the last few chapters, there's just been a few panels that have caught my eye a little more than the others. So right now I'm looking at a panel where Marco was reflecting back on a conversation he had with Whitebeard. He says, "What do you mean? I thought only Marijoy was on top of the red line." And Whitebeard says, "I'm talking long before that. From what I hear, there used to be a land of guards up there." So what I'm thinking is, before Marijoy was on the red line was the Void Century, right? Because Marijoy didn't exist until after the Void Century. So what I'm taking from this is King's race existed on the red line during the Void Century and pre-Void Century. And so after coming to that conclusion, the one question I had is, why the hell would you leave the red line in the first place? What kind of threat could there have been that could have been such a hazard to your race to make you leave the red line? Because think about it, this race can conjure fire. Apparently, according to Queen, that's some wild shit. Like if you can conjure fire, you on some demon time. Like even Whitebeard referred to this is the land of the gods. They referred to these people as gods, so their power was revered, their power was respected. What was it that was so hazardous to their race that made them want to relocate? And I think it was an ancient weapon. I think the threat of the Celestials using an ancient weapon on them was so severe that they had to relocate to one of the moons. And I feel like I can stand on this theory because there's never been any proof of an ancient weapon being used directly on the red line. And I honestly think they were being targeted by an ancient weapon because the Lunarians had a connection to JoyBoy. Honestly, I feel like the fishmen, the Lunarians, the minks, and anybody connected to JoyBoy at that time were being targeted by the current world government. I feel like they were all being targeted with the threat of the ancient weapon, so they all had to retreat. There's also a little bit more proof that there may be more Lunarians around, just not on Earth, but I believe on the moon, because in chapter 10:23 as well, when Sanji bursts his leg in flames and Sanji's like, "Sorry pal, I'm all human." Queen is like, "Are you stupid? Humans don't burn like that. I know you're not a Lunarian." And it's crazy because in this panel, you see King do a glare over at King. It's as if he said some shit that he wasn't supposed to say. That's the look that you give somebody if they're saying too much and you just not digging what they putting down. He just glared over there like, you just need to chill out right now. One of my beliefs is Kaido has a connection to other Lunarians due to his race. I believe the Lunarians do intermingle with certain races on Earth, and I think Kaido's race was one of them. So that may be the reason that Queen was able to meet other Lunarians and see other fire conjuring Lunarians. But see, now we gotta answer this question though. Why is King the only Lunarian that's down on Earth right now? Right now, King is the only Lunarian that's around. I think that also has something to do with JoyBoy. And I think that the reason King and Kaido may be working together is because they're both looking for JoyBoy. I believe they're both looking for some kind of connection to JoyBoy. Because it would make sense that if the Lunarians had a connection to JoyBoy, when JoyBoy returned, they would want somebody to be around to relay the message. And that's how the existence of King's race has always been known, because it would make sense to have at least one person down every century just in case JoyBoy returned. And it can also explain why Kaido knows anything about JoyBoy at all without being able to read the poneglyphs. That actually would explain, because if King is a Lunarian, it's probably mandatory for him to know about the existence of JoyBoy. King is probably the one that let Kaido know, and then that's probably why Kaido's fighting so hard to get his army and find a One Piece. He's probably really looking for JoyBoy, or at least who JoyBoy could be. And honestly, if King doesn't know who JoyBoy is, the reason he's following Kaido is because Kaido is the strongest. So I figure if you follow the strongest, maybe Kaido could be JoyBoy. Maybe he thought that. Maybe he thinks Kaido can fulfill the prophecy. I firmly believe that the Lunarians have a deep connection to the JoyBoy. The Celestials had the threat of an ancient weapon. King's Race said, hey, we gotta raise up out of here. We're gone. The Celestials move in, but the Lunarians are just like, hey, we're gonna send somebody back just to make sure when JoyBoy returns, we'll be ready. Guys, let me know what you think about this crazy theory in the comments. I thought about this theory overnight. I slept on it. I was dreaming about it. I was finally able to put it into the correct words. I tried to do it yesterday. I just could not do it. Hopefully, this satisfies the masses. I know it's a crazy theory. It probably doesn't have any merit, but I did a little research. I'm proud of this theory. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you enjoyed the comments, please drop a like and subscribe. It really helps a small channel like mine. You guys have a great day.